More than 70% of Kenya's 13 million people depend on agriculture for their livelihood. A large number are employed on commercial coffee and tea plantations or grow the crops in their small holdings. A majority earn a living from subsistence farming. But with a rapidly growing population, opportunities in agriculture are dominating. Every year, thousands leave the rural areas for the towns and cities, hoping to find jobs. Only a few do. The rest either joining the informal sector as petty traders and artisans or continue hunting for elusive casual work. Kenya's urban population doubled from 16 to 31% between 1980 and 1998 and continues to grow. With more than 3 million people, the capital Nairobi accounts for 1/5 of Kenya's urban population. Most of the rural immigrants attracted by prospects of a better life in the cities instead end up in poor neighborhoods such as Nairobi's Kibera, said to be the largest informal settlements in East Africa. Here, they live in conditions often far worse than those they are escaping from. They are confronted by age-old problems of urban poverty, poor housing and sanitation, lack of clean water or social amenities such as schools and hospitals. Then there is the relatively newer but by far the most devastating problem, AIDS. Mostly striking people in the most productive ages, AIDS depletes family resources, pushing them deeper into poverty. But against the odds, many women valiantly soldier on, eking a living from all manner of petty trade to care for their family. Sale of firewood is a popular trade in Kibera, where most homes cook on open fires. Most of the wood sold here is illegally gathered from the Ngong forest bordering the slum. It is a risky business as the women, many of them single mothers, if caught, the women risk being sent to jail, which would mean leaving their families even more destitute. Yet for many, this is the only means of survival. Although firewood helps put food on the table in many homes, it is a big threat to the forest.
Nimekaa hapa Kianda miaka 9, naendelea na business ya kuni. Nijisaidie kulipia watoto shule ama kulipa nyumba.
Over the years, large areas of forest have been cleared for wood or taken up by new housing estates. Yet the forest is irreplaceable. Located only 6 kilometers from the bustling city center, it serves as a carbon sink. Its disappearance would radically alter the city's climate. That's why, in 1997, the Ngong Sanctuary Trust started projects to conserve the forest.
The forest is 6 kilometers from Nairobi town, and it is 1,600 meters above sea level. One of its uniqueness is that it is the only indigenous forest within a capital city in the world, and hence the importance to conserve this forest. And the forest has faced a lot of pressure. Now we are trying to structure the communities so that we can have sustainable utilization of this forest, so that if it is firewood collection, it can be done sustainably.
One of the first projects that Trust undertook was to erect an electric fence around the 500 square kilometer forest sanctuary and increase patrols by guards. But the Trust is aware that such efforts will only succeed if communities that relied on the forest are involved.
Before the fence was erected, there used to be many illegal activities going on in the forest. But since the time the fence was set up, it has really reduced at a very high rate.
It therefore encouraged them to form groups so that they could be assisted to identify alternative livelihoods and plan how best to utilize the forest resources. Gatwekere Women's Group from Kibera is among the first to partner with the sanctuary. Comprising 20 who previously gathered wood in the sanctuary, the group came up with the idea of a beekeeping project.
Tukaonelea hao wamama tunaoenda kuni na hao, tujiunge kikundi, tukue tukijisaidia nayo. Ndio tukashikana, tukiwa wamama 20. Tukaanza hii mradi ya kushona vitambaa. Sasa tunashonaga hizo vitambaa sets, tunauza, tunakuja, tunagawana pesa, mtu anapata mahitaji ya mtoto na yule mwingine.
With backing from the trust, they presented a proposal to UNDP and were funded under the Global Environment Facility's Small Grants Program. The trust provides technical support to the project, but the idea is to have the women run it and earn an income from sale of honey. In the process, they will help guard the forest. After initial planning, the women were given basic skills in beekeeping. With the UNDP funds, they bought 100 hives and were helped identify suitable places for them within the forest. Each member was allocated 5 hives. As colonies form in the hives, the women continue with training, which combines practical lessons in the field and group study at home.
The KWS, or the Kenya Wildlife Service, and the Forest Department have a memorandum of understanding to conserve forest where they have common objectives or common interests. And Ngong Road Forest falls in that category. So they sat down, and together with the trust, they came up with a memorandum of agreement for collaboration in conservation of the Ngong Road Forest. So the parties in this memorandum are the Kenya Wildlife Service, the Forest Department, the Ngong Road Forest Sanctuary Trust, and the local communities, who we consult all the time, and they are involved in the day-to-day management of this forest.
The women are free to enter the forest to check on the progress of their beehives according to a plan agreed on with trust officials. With earning from the project, the women will be able to start other businesses and guarantee better the lives of their families. But as their lives progress, the women and other similar groups will also have played their part in preserving this priceless heritage for future generations.
Hii training tulipelekwa imetufaidi sana na inafaidi wengine, kwa maana tunafundisha hata wengine kwa vijiji ndio watoke kwa shida. UNDP ndio imetupea hii miziga, kila mama amepewa miziga 5 na mwingine 5. Sasa tunatoa shukrani kwa hii UNDP na tunatarajia wakati tunakuja tunachunga msitu ili environment yetu ikuwe mzuri.
Besides beekeeping, the women's group is helping in reforestation. The trust provides seedlings and guides, while the women nurture the young trees. In their new role, the women are mandated to report any activities that threaten the forest to the trust. The project has given them a new confidence. But besides opening a new world of opportunities to the women, the project demonstrates that communities can play a vital role in conservation.